everyone. So in this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to set up game 3 from PrepTest 11. In this particular game, we have subsets. So what I mean by that is that we have two sets of entities or players within the game rather than just one. Okay, so a housing committee will consist of exactly 5 representatives. All right, so the committee is going to have 5 people on it, and one of them will be its chairperson. So I'll just make this the chairperson, indicate it like that, and the representatives will be selected from among a group of 5 tenants and a group of 4 homeowners. So the two subsets are tenants and homeowners. And usually when I have subsets, I like to just sort of use different like fonts or different scripts for the groups. So for the tenant group, I'm going to use capital letters, and for the homeowner group, I'm going to use lowercase letters. Also, we are selecting 5 from a group that totals 9. So that means that this is an in and out game, and we're going to have 5 in and 4 out. Right? So we're selecting 5 out of 9, and so the remainder there would be 4. Okay, and our players here, we've got F, G, J, K, and M for the tenants, and we have P, Q, R, and S for the homeowners. Okay. So that's the basic setup, and then we have a whole bunch of rules. We have 6 rules, which is more than usual. Usually we would have 4. So yeah, it's a pretty complex game, right? We've got quite a few different layers. So this is definitely more of a moderate to difficult game rather than an easy game. So definitely not a beginner game, but there are still some elements to it that you can use as you're building your foundations. So things like the subsets part and the fact that it's an in and out game, those would be more foundational skills. Okay. All right, so the first rule says that we need to include at least 2 representatives from each group. So one way that we can indicate that is just by saying that we have a minimum of 2 from each of these groups. I would probably just put minimum of 2 tenants, right, and a minimum of 2 homeowners. My diagrams do get a little bit cluttered sometimes, but I find that saves me a bit of time to just sort of write it like that, and it makes it really obvious. Like when I'm placing the players in, I'm not going to forget that. Okay, the chairperson must be a representative belonging to the group from which exactly 2 representatives are selected. So that one is going to be a bit trickier to diagram, but essentially what that means is we have 2 options. So we're either going to have 2 tenants and 3 homeowners, or we're going to have 2 homeowners and 3 tenants. And in either of these cases, the group that has 2 members involved, one of them is going to be the chairperson. Okay, so I just messed up the screen a little bit there, sorry. So hopefully that makes sense. And I mean, I guess one of the keys here would be sort of figuring out what the distribution options are. So once you know that you need a minimum of each of the 2 types, then you know that one of them is going to have 3 and the other will have 2 on the committee. So another thing that we can look at with these 2 scenarios is who's left over, right? So if only 2 of the tenants are chosen, that means there are actually 3 tenants out, and 3 homeowners in means 1 homeowner out. Here we're going to have 2 homeowners out and 2 tenants out. So these I would identify as the distribution options. So what are the options for the way that the players are distributed between the in-group and the out-group? And also between the regular seats for representatives and the chairperson seat. Okay, so that really just covers the blurb and then the first two rules. So I'll make a second video going over the last four rules because all of those are really similar in that they're all conditional. So those would be good ones to go over as a group. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions.